Hey there everyone, in today's video, Dana White has just dropped exciting news.
This fight has been scheduled 3 times, but this is the time that matters. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway.
Khamzat Chimaev is ready to move up 2 weight classes to fight the UFC legend and his favorite fighter, heavyweight champion Jon Jones, who he considers not only the strongest fighter in the world at the moment, but also the best representative of this sport in history. But hey, that's not all. Strickland issues a chilling warning to Dricus du Plessis, urging him to tread carefully with his words, lest he face some dire consequences.
I was like, dude, listen, Dricus, we're gonna go try to murder each other, but if you bring that up again, I will stab you.
Meanwhile, we will explore the tragic fate of 44-year-old MMA veteran Diego Brago, whose life met a devastating end on the bustling streets of Rio de Janeiro at the hands of organized crime. And then at the end of this video, Khabib Nurmagomedov had to personally comment on rumors about his participation in the UFC 300 event after information was repeated by his friend Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So, without further ado, let's get started.
50 wins between them, 34 finishes, 2 of the best strikers in the sport, 2 of the most durable fighters in the sport, 2 of the most aggressive guys in the sport. Gaethje destroys all guys with leg kicks and power in both hands. Max is regarded by many to be the best boxer in the UFC and has made many top 10 guys look like they don't even belong there with him. 2 of the all-time greats in their division, and this fight will be 5 rounds for the BMF title. So, we got Bobby Green versus Jim Miller, Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway, both.
In a heartbreaking turn of events, 44-year-old MMA veteran Diego Brago met a tragic end in the bustling streets of Rio de Janeiro. The police have confirmed this devastating incident that occurred following the theft of his motorcycle from his garage late one Sunday night. Diego took to social media to report the theft, but little did he know that this act would lead him into a very perilous situation. As he ventured into the heart of Rio in search of his stolen motorcycle, he unwittingly crossed paths with members of the notorious criminal organization known as the Commando Vermo, or the Red Command. In a grave case of mistaken identity, Brago paid the ultimate price. Diego concluded his career with a 23-8-1 MMA record, having won 16 of his last 19 fights in the MMA world. We extend our heartfelt condolences to Diego's family and friends, as this tragic incident serves as a somber reminder of the unpredictable nature of life in Rio de Janeiro. Strickland warned Dricus du Plessis to choose his words carefully or he vowed to stab him.
I actually sent him a message and I was like, dude, listen, Dricus, we're gonna go try to murder each other, but if you bring that up again, I will stab you.
Yeah, I mean,
press conference, weigh in. You bring that, like, I just told Dricus, I was like,
you
Dricus,
know he's gonna bring it up.
No, he was cool about it. He was cool. But I mean, again, I'm not telling you I don't want to fight you, Dricus. I'm not saying you're not a good fighter. I'm just saying that that's a line that when crossed, it transcends fighting to, like, if I have, like, I'm going to, if I go to Canada and you bring that up, well, guess what? I'm going to go to jail. They're going to deport me. And we spent 8 weeks of training doing for no reason.
So if you do recall earlier, Strickland had cried during an interview talking about the violence he experienced as a child from his father. Dricus responded to Strickland's tears by saying, I have a lot of respect for Sean as a fighter. I think he's incredible. But do I consider him a hypocrite? 100%. It is clear that nothing can be done about childhood trauma, but if you know what it costs to survive trauma, then you should not inflict it on others. Well, Strickland does just that. Yeah, I do feel sorry for him. No child deserves this ever, said MMA middleweight Dricus du Plessis, who will be fighting Strickland for the UFC middleweight title on January 20th. Now, several users on X did comment pretty harshly, while others just questioned the legitimacy of the threat. One fan wrote, I don't believe him, but wouldn't be shocked either. Another wrote, watch main event get cancelled because Sean stabs DDP and ends up in Canadian jail.
He should say, if you bring that up one more time, if you talk about my childhood trauma, if you talk about what I went through and you use it as some scandalous way, some idle tittle-tattle to promote this fight, if you're going to go there, I am going to punish you, because Saturday night, you're going to be locked inside a cage with me. And my only job is to beat the living shit out of you.
I'm at the halfway point, guys, where I think I want to go for this, dude. Because of the emotions that's going on with Sean Strickland, guys, you know what? I take that back. I'm gonna have to go with the King of Africa, dude. I just have to, man. I think he's, I think his head's, you know, it seems like his head's on the right place. He has good tackle, so a good ground and pound. As much as I want to go for Sean Strickland, I have to go with. I said it, and I'll say it, and I'll say it again. I cannot doubt the dude who beat Robert Whittaker when I was 100% certain. I was like, bet the house, everybody. Robert Whittaker's about to annihilate him. So for that reason, as much as I want to go for the American Patriot, I gotta go with Dricus du Plessis.
If Strickland can dictate the pace, he's gonna blow DDP out of the water. If he can dictate the pace, just like he did with Izzy, just like he's done before, and avoid the big shot, which I think he's learned from the Alex Pereira fight, not to play that game. If he can control the pace, if he can continue to put DDP on his back foot, he's going to blow the doors off DDP. I do have Sean Strickland winning this fight. I have him win this fight. I think he can TKO him in the 4th round. Sean Strickland's been in much bigger fights. So all signs to me point towards Sean Strickland, unless he gets caught, which can definitely happen, but my money would be on Sean Strickland. I think we need to show him a little more respect. I think just going, Izzy had a bad night, Strickland's not that good, that ain't going to work for me. The kid's damn good.
Now, number 9 in the UFC middleweight rankings, Khamzat Chimaev is ready to move up 2 weight categories to fight current UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones.
Jon Jones win till he's the best fighter in the world right now. He's in history, nobody like him. You know, so for sure, he's dream match for everyone who wants to be in the history. So that's why I'm hope I'm younger than him. Hope he's not gonna go soon. He from this job, so get this fight as well. So when I get up, I like him. I like his training. I watching his training. Learn a lot of stuff from him as well. So we speak about with him. We speak about training. So we can maybe train together.
Look at this lion. He's the king of the jungle. Huge mane. Yeah. He's so big. He's so hot.
Now, as you probably already know, it is not only Khamzat Chimaev and Tom Aspinall who are interested in facing the legend. Aspinall's ambition to face Jones has been very clear, and it appears that he will stop at nothing to make it happen. However, the question arises, does Jon Jones need such fights at this stage of his career? As the defending champion, Jones is the pinnacle of his game. Facing young and formidable opponents like Aspinall and Chimaev may not be the most desirable scenario for him. Jones also seems less eager to fight younger opponents who are at their peak. But it is worth acknowledging, it is much more profitable for him to engage in a lucrative fight with Stipe Miocic and then quietly retire. Former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov had to personally comment on all the rumors surrounding his participation in the UFC 300 event, after information was repeated by his friend Ibrahimovic. UFC 300 Khabib Nurmagomedov, the famous Swedish football player, posted on social media with a joint photo of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, UFC 300 will be without me, just like UFC 400, Nurmagomedov commented on Ibrahimovic's word. But earlier, in UFC 300 event will be taking place on April 13th in Las Vegas, but so far, the anniversary event remains without a main event.
That is all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because it is very important to us, and thank you all in advance.